Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who, about to make a name for myself here, Bill.
Hi, everyone. That's right. Woo. About to make a name for myself over here. Woo.
People love Channing Tatum's Gambit. They love it.
Yeah. They do.
Like, unironically, because it was terrible, right? Am I wrong? It was bad?
I think the more you watch it, the better it gets.
Oh my god. Is that true?
I feel like
you're just watching the clips?
I've been watching, so there's like on TikTok, there's like,
sure,
you can watch like gamer streams. That you ever see that split screen stuff?
Yeah.
Where they throw a game up there, but then they have something completely different on. I've been watching the whole movie for like a week now.
Oh my god. Just watching it.
It always cuts off at a certain point, but I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
That's good. Now you've seen it, you enjoy it more on your phone. In split screen, than in the theater.
In split screen with like an aspect ratio that cuts off like 40% of the film.
Yeah,
that's just terrible.
It's the way it was meant.
I don't care what's going on over there and over there. I don't care.
I don't need that part.
Right here.
The important stuff's in the middle. That's how it works. The middle stuff. It's like when HD rolled out, but people still had SD, standard def TVs. You had to put all the important stuff in the middle. Because no one's going to see the side, or like most of the audience not going to see the side. Yeah. It was faithful to the comic. It's one of those things where it's like Morbius started to get popular because it was so bad. Everybody latched onto that It's Morbin time meme. Yeah. And
they
then
had a
Sony re-released it. But I don't know that. I just don't. I mean, hey, maybe they can do it and make it make sense. I don't know. I don't feel like it could
Ryan
happen.
Reynolds wants to get one more Wesley Snipes Blade movie in.
Ryan Reynolds, just like he's just a good. I mean, he wants us to think he's a good guy. I don't know if it's legit. I feel like he just kind of wants to be responsible for a lot of people's career resurrection.
He's grown past his Van Wilder days. He knows how
to play the game. He knows how to look like a good guy, whether that's true or not. I hear stories about him being on the set.
He got Rick Moranis out of retirement to do a commercial with him. I mean,
did he? For Mint Mobile?
Yeah, he did. For Mint Mobile.
What?
Yeah.
Because he's a fellow Canadian? You think that had been part of it?
Oh, it had to have been.
But we couldn't get him in Ghostbusters? Come on, Rick. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Channing Tatum and Gambit. Maybe they can do some shorts or something. I don't feel like it's going to be a full-fledged movie.
Maybe he'll have a TV show.
Maybe it could be a series.
They do a series. It's just an episode.
Void.
You're like, there we go. Yeah, that works.
I think that would be fine.
He's like looking on, like, oh, it could be. He like sees the X-Men universe unfolding in front of him from the void and like a sling ring, and then he's like, nah, it's okay, and he closes it.
On a sling ring? What is this? That sling ring?
That's the little
like the
magic
the
ring that Doctor Strange uses.
Doctor Strange has. That's what
and
it's
that
called.
They used in Deadpool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a sling ring. Yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, Sling TV. They have. I don't. I got the Halloween Cup already. You ready for the season?
I think everybody's ready for the season. It's getting cold up here. It's
is it really?
75.
It's not cold. It is not cold in Florida. It's very warm. Torrential downpour today. That was fun. The kids. The kid had meet the teacher today because their school starts tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I made you postpone a day because I was planning on getting murdered last night by my wife.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that
did
not seem to happen. You survived.
Congratulations. Survived the hurricane and survived my wife.
You had a hurricane? You had
you had the same hurricane. Yeah, it missed you. It missed me. It was great.
Did anybody get this hurricane?
Somebody.
I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but
no, I don't either.
I mean, the coast
there's
is getting destroyed every time. The coast is not making it out. They are being destroyed every single time. But the inland people, it's okay. Not so bad. But eventually we will be coast too, because the coast will erode. And all that will be left is the central area. And then eventually we'll be gone too. But that's fine. It's time we turn our attention to the big controversial news of the week in the world of toys. And it has to do with Mattel and He-Man and Pixel Dan. Pixel Dan got involved in the situation. Well, crowdfunding, sure, or lack thereof.
Oh.
So a while back, well, I guess we should start from the beginning. Mattel had a successful crowdfund for their He-Man line in, was it Eternia?
Are we talking at least with the playset?
Yeah, the playset.
Yeah, for their crowdfund. They had, they met most of the tiers. They lost the last tier. It didn't make it to all three.
But the thing got funded, and pretty quickly. It got funded. That first, at least like the thing itself, not talking about
it got funded, goals. It got the early bird, and then it kind of slacked off towards the end. And then they did some shenanigans too, where everybody got King He-Man or whatever his name was.
They really wanted it to breach all the stretch goals, so they took what was originally advertised as an early bird and said, if this gets fully funded, everybody gets it. Which kind of pissed off the early bird people.
And you. I think you were very mad, because that's not how early birds work.
That's not how it works. No. You make a verbal contract, and it may have actually been written. It was a written contract. You can't go back on it. But in the end, it didn't matter, because it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
This is what Mattel does. Mattel changes their game, trying to play around with shit, and it doesn't work.
I think in the beginning. They did it with the original WWE crowdfund for the new gen stage or entrance way, because they added a whole Macho Man. We've talked about this before. It was doing so poorly. They added a whole elite Macho Man figure, so you ended up getting 3 Ultimate figures. That was like deal of the century back then. But then they tried to get that second WWE, the WCW Nitro entrance stage, and even though they pulled some shenanigans with that one, it wasn't enough. That one didn't happen. So they've had some mixed luck with that. So the current crowdfunder in question, they did a poll not too long ago where they showed 3 potential MOTU playsets that was going to be the next crowdfund project.
Yep. You got to decide, kind of. It was like,
was it a straight up poll?
It was a straight up
poll. They chose
the
winner. Whichever one got the most votes, that was the one they were going to put up.
We had Fright Zone, which is Hordak's lair, and we had the Snake Lair, which is the one that ultimately got funded got chosen.
That was the winner. Yeah.
And then we had one other. I forget what it was. It was like the attack tracks, or it was something. Might have even been a vehicle.
It was a tank with Hordak's face, the Horde Crawler tank.
Okay.
So the other one was the Fright Zone. Now, the Fright Zone existed in the original toy line. We had that puppet. That's the one I would have picked, because the snake stuff always seems sort of weird. Like, they always go to the snake stuff. I'm not sure why. But the Horde tank never existed. That was not a thing that had a counterpart in the original toy line. Correct?
Correct. Well, neither was the Snake's Lair.
Oh, okay. So the Snake's Lair never existed either. So there was no
like the Fright Zone.
So this is like, these weren't necessarily like going off of nostalgia. These are like sort of like what could have been. Using
it's like
modern
organically.
toy technology.
Well, this is also the thing. It's like if the line had continued, which it didn't, because it began to fail in like 85 and 86.
Because people
there probably was. They lost interest, But so organically, we have a Grayskull, we have Snake Mountain, we have Eternia, we have the Fright Zone. Those are the 4 pillar playsets of classic MOTU.
So I don't know what the final numbers were, but the Snake Lair was the top choice, at least according to the fact that they are moving forward with it. So before Comic-Con, I guess or during Comic-Con, they showed off the model.
Before Comic-Con, No, they had a mock-up, an illustrated mock-up first.
Okay, but now we're at the point where we've seen it. They made a physical version that was at Comic-Con.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I don't know, like, if Mattel just started hearing that people weren't happy with it, but something happened where Mattel set out a poll to people, and they were like, hey, are you going to buy this if we put it up? Like, before we, throw this out there, we want to make sure, like, it's going to fund, because if it doesn't, that looks really bad on us.
Yeah.
And the response they got back was, no, I'm not going to spend $300 on this. And then the question started to be, why? What's wrong with this one? This is the one that won the poll. Like, this is it. What happened between when this won the poll and now people don't want to actually buy it? And this is the point in the story where Pixel Dan got involved, because Pixel Dan is the savior of MOTU. This is his role. This is why he gets the big bucks. He needs to step in situations like this, because his mind is halfway between the fans and the Mattel Corporation. Like, he can translate.
Like a mediator?
Yeah,
okay.
He's a mediator. He understands both sides of the coin.
Okay,
so he stepped in. He threw up some polls, and he wanted to know, like, specifically why.
Throw up his poll?
He ran it up the poll to see who would salute. And
that's not what I meant.
I know what you mean. So the one of the polls was, are you going to back the Snake Lair? 68% of the responders, and there were like 3,000 responders, he said no. 68% said no. So right off the bat, not a good start. Not a good start at all. So now the question remains, why aren't you going to fund it? I'm trying to go through his page here and pull up his actual poll. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. Another poll number 2. Why are you not buying? So there were 4 choices. It's too big. It's too expensive. Doesn't match the concept art, which that's a interesting. We'll get into that a little bit more. But the winner with 39.5% was no interest, no nostalgia. So I almost feel like that could have been 2 choices, because you could have no interest, or you could have no interest because there's no nostalgia. But he pushed those 2 together. So basically what we're left to understand here is, because this is not based on a pre-existing toy from the collector's childhoods, they don't want it. They don't want this, like, if the line continued kind of stuff.
So that just kind of tells you right there who is driving the line in the first place. Yes. It's not new collectors.
Right.
It's the old school guys.
Well, I mean, I think that you can probably say that, but more so, what you really can say is, if these toys aren't just direct updates from existing things, there's no interest. Like, we don't want to see your interpretation of what could have been. We just want updates on those original toys. So maybe, like, I didn't originally collect, you didn't really originally collect, but, you backed Eternia. So
I found a full collection, and that automatically became my private collection.
Well, sure. Sure, but you weren't collecting, like, from a kid. You weren't in the thick of it.
No, I wasn't. Yeah. I had, no, not at all. You and I were too young.
We missed it by, like, a year.
We did.
But we missed it. It didn't click with us.
No, it didn't.
So then there was one more poll. If Mattel were to do the Fright Zone instead, so the Fright Zone, again, that is a pre-existing toy. This would be an update of that. Using the same crowdfunding route, would you buy it? 48.8% said yes. Yes. Oh. So the question, I guess, is, why didn't the Fright Zone win the initial poll? And we could have avoided all of this. Like, what happened there?
I guess it looks as to who was voting in the first place.
Sure. So maybe these voters, maybe Pixel Dan fans, don't necessarily represent all of the Mattel voters. Maybe this is just a swath of MOTU fans.
Were the Pixel Dan polls taken after Comic-Con? So, like, did they visually see?
They happened this weekend.
Okay.
Because it's like, this is when Mattel got back from Comic-Con and they were like, the reaction has been a little lukewarm. Maybe we should, before we bulldoze forward, maybe we should do some more sort of fact finding and see like if this is going to succeed or not. So that's when Pixel Day, I don't know if he was instructed to do this or he did it on his own to try to give some more information to Mattel.
But I gotta liken it to this, and I know we want to bump forward, but like obviously you saw the Skeleton Crew teaser.
Sure.
And not to get into it too much, but there's the suburbs.
Yeah.
In that trailer. And it looks out of... Not to get too much into it real quick, but it looks out of place. So to go back to the snake lair, or whatever they're calling it, the snake land, it looks out of place, I suppose. Like, it doesn't mesh well enough with the older stuff.
What about it? It doesn't mesh. Like I'm looking at it here. It's got some big snakes. It's got some, like the drawbridge door that opens.
Is it? So it's a trifold, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Someone said it looked like Imaginext.
It does look like that Imaginext set. I kind of could see
that. Yeah.
I think the coloration is just a little too vibrant.
Okay.
And a little too metallic. As it were, it looks very...
So, like, the paint is too good? It should be, like, shittier?
No, I wouldn't say it's too... I think it should look a little... I mean, I guess scarier. It looks a little too, like, Egyptian. Like
it's inviting? Yeah. Oh, okay. I can see
that.
Here.
Yeah.
The snakes do look pleased.
Yeah, very happy.
Come join me in my lair.
Oh.
Okay. And it does even have, like, the standing sarcophagus with the nails that close on the inside. What's the name? Is there a name for that?
Oh gosh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So Mattel's gonna they're gonna take a beat. They're gonna go back to the drawing board. People love how I say that word. Drawing board. And reevaluate, and maybe we'll see this toy again. Now, they want to sell this toy for $300. How much was the Eternia playset?
$500.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's significantly larger.
Significantly larger. Yeah. No, this thing. I think that thing was 3 feet wide, like with the display, and it had the monorail system and everything else. There's a lot going on with that.
Yeah, this is not. Monorail. I mean, this still 300. The Main Street's still all cracked and broken. Sorry, Mom. The mob has spoken.
Pixel Dan has spoken.
Pixel Dan has spoken. Monorail. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated on that. If you were really looking forward to that, I'm sorry. You have to wait a bit longer. But by the sounds of it, not a lot of people were. Not a lot of people were excited for that. They wanted the Fright Zone, but it didn't win. You gotta vote. Here's the thing. You gotta vote. You don't get to complain if you don't vote. Get out there and vote. Make sure you're registered to vote on Pixel Dan's website. Sometimes they purge your voter record. Check every month until October, because there's going to be another Pixel Dan poll. So make sure you're registered to vote all the way up until November, which is, again, when there will be a Pixel Dan poll.
Looking forward to it.
What's this? What are we talking about?
Pixel Dan's big poll?
His big poll? Yeah. So that's good. D23 is a thing. It's become a thing.
It's like the place you go when you don't have kids.
Yeah.
And you're a Disney fan, which is just Disney World already anyway.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate Disney adult. Well, it's like Comic-Con, but just specifically Disney.
Disney, yes.
Nothing. But Disney is everything now. So
I'm going to tell you this right now.
Yeah.
I don't really think this thing existed 5 years ago to the degree that
it's very new. It's very new.
Yeah.
And it was not always this spectacle. Like, I remember when they invented
I think it used to be like a shareholder meeting. That was all. They had a big boardroom meeting, and they were like, here's some graphs and here's some stuff. And then they're like, hey, let's get some auditoriums in here and some influencers. Media influencers.
Well, they made it a money-making thing, because now you got to buy tickets.
Of course.
And more so, you have to buy, like, even if you want to stream it. This year was the first time that if you wanted to stream it, you had to pay. Like, the cast members got a free tier, but they had their name across it, like watermarked, so they couldn't share it, or they'd be immediately fired out of a cannon. So it's like a money-making thing now. It's like a big deal. And also, instead of having to rent out, which they still do, the big the halls at San Diego Comic-Con, they have their own thing. They can do whatever they want. They don't have to work on someone else's timeline. But it happened this year, and it's supposed to be a big deal. There's supposed to be big announcements that are supposed to get you super excited for the future of Disney, movies, theme parks, television, everything Disney related. The friggin' fake Pokemon cards, whatever they're doing, all that shit. This is it. Now you're supposed to leave this weekend being like, I can't wait to go be Mickey Mouse's best friend. This is it.
Yeah.
And I will say that I could not be less excited about Disney in general based on what they revealed at this D3 convention. But we should still talk about it because there's still some news. There's some news,
and we don't have anything to show off, so it's completely auditory. It's great. It works great.
I mean,
so our podcast listeners will really appreciate this.
You guys,
all 9 of them.
We have plenty. Well, okay. Probably let's list things that I'm from most excited to least excited. I was most excited to see was the trailer for Skeleton Crew, which is the next Disney or is the next Star Wars Disney Plus series coming out in December of this year.
Okay.
So this stars Jude Law.
Yeah.
As we don't know if he's a Jedi. It seems like he has Force sensibilities.
He can move that key. Sure.
Yeah. So there's obviously going to be some mystery surrounding him. Essentially, this show is like if Goonies was set in the Star Wars universe. That seems to be the elevator pitch for this, right?
It seems like it's a little bit of mix of like 80s growing up, like kids in the 80s.
Kids,
so like your
Stranger
ETs,
Things,
your Goonies,
Star Wars.
Yeah. I like somebody made a joke about Order 66, and they said that Order 66 just equaled out to the amount of Jedi that were killed during the actual order. That it was just 66 Jedi because there's just so many surviving Jedi afterwards. There's so many.
I know I was watching Jedi this weekend with my son, and there's the part before Yoda dies, and he's like, "The last Jedi you will be," and I was like, "Does he not know, or is he just lying again?" He lies to Luke. They all lie to Luke so much.
He's been lying for centuries. I mean, it starts with little lies, and then before you know it, there's galactic upheaval. But he's all good with it because it's just little lies, little bits.
Ends to a means, or means to an ends. So
you're excited for that. Let's keep talking about this because I am not that excited.
The other thing about this is that it seems to be an unofficial origin story for Captain EO.
Okay.
Now, Captain EO, if you're not familiar, was an attraction at Epcot Center. Back when it was Epcot Center, there was an attraction starring Michael Jackson. That tells you how long ago this existed. And he fought space pirates. There were creatures. Jim Henson's Muppet Studio was involved in some way, and then it went away, and I think that the attraction got replaced by Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, which is right next to Figment. But they did bring back Captain EO like within the last 10 years for like a short stay.
I did see it, yes. So on one of my many trips down, it did exist. Within the last 8 years, it has existed.
But they've had some fun aliens in there. There's an alien that kind of looks like Max Rebo, and then there's a young kind of looking like Max Rebo alien in this. And in the trailer, we saw that red fuzzy thing in a cage, and if he has butterfly wings, that is exactly what that creature looks like in Captain EO. And then there's a droid, a pirate droid, and he's got a peg leg, and it looks exactly like the character from Captain EO. So
that pirate, you know what that pirate with the peg leg and his robot's name is?
What?
SM-33.
Why?
Smee.
Oh,
that was Captain
is that
Hook's
true?
first mate. Yes, it's 100%
is that true? Oh, look at that. See, this series is just cute. It's
cute?
Just like all winks and nods. It's just a bunch of like fun little things.
It just seems like Star Wars exists in this.
Yeah, what happened?
This kid's.
My toys fell down.
No! You're frozen.
Am I?
Oh, you're back. No, you're back.
Okay. I think it like hit my cable or something, but all my toys fell down.
Debbie,
I don't even know what
turned
happened.
around again. She coming back to get you.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Just the weight of the Dedrick Tatum figure was too much. That's actually probably what happened. Super 7, damn you, Super 7! You sent me a new one, but I kept the old
Brian
one.
Flynn.
I should have donated it to charity, like they requested of me. Damn. Anyway,
I found out.
What are we talking about?
We're still talking about Skeleton Crew
and how you love it.
I don't know if I do.
Yeah, you're
but
gonna love it.
Who's to say? I'll watch it. It just seems like it's like they watch Star Wars on TV and they're like, "Oh, wouldn't it be great to imagine, like, actually live this instead of just imagine it?" And I was like, "Okay,
yeah, let's just go."
I can't see, like, it's like in Guardians 3 where they go down to that planet when all the animals are living in like the 80s.
Yes,
and
the little,
it's like, what is this?
They created an environment for all the test people.
Slightly out of place. Like, I'm not saying that it shouldn't exist in Star Wars, but it just looks. It doesn't look enough like Star Wars for me, so my head is not wrapping around it properly.
And I think that's the big controversy coming out of the trailer, is that there was a shot, and it looks like the suburbs in the 80s, like perfectly manicured lawns, these little houses, kids riding bikes. That's not something we've seen. Like, we haven't seen this kind of like.
No, we've never.
Everything's
seen
fine. We're not worried about. We're not worried about the Imperials coming to shoot us. We're just riding our bikes. So, and my question to you was, when does this take place? And I thought, like, okay, maybe this is after the sequels. Everything's calmed down a little bit. But you're saying this is when Mandalorian is happening.
I feel like, so the pirates, at least the main pirate, Vane, was in the latest season of The Mandalorian. He's the Nikto. The Nikto pirate. He does escape.
Yeah. Right, because there was that pirate. What was that crazy-looking CGI pirate they had?
He was like, I forget his name, but he looked like he was like a melting piece of seaweed. Yeah.
Yeah, but he goes down with a ship. We're probably not going to see him.
He goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
No, he's gone.
But that is so funny that they introduced the concept of these pirates.
Yeah.
In The Mandalorian, so that they could then have the show with the pirates to be like, see, pirates exist. It's like Tailspin. These pirates are out there.
Yeah, there's pirates in Star Wars. There's always been pirates in Star Wars.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. I think it'll be fun.
It's probably going to be goofy fun. It looks like people like what they see for some reason. That's the thing. I'm not seeing a lot of hate towards this like the Acolyte got.
Yeah.
Which I still like.
Well, I think
love the
after the Acolyte was so good, I think people need to give this a chance. Because even if the Acolyte started slow and you may disagree with some of the choices they made, I think in the end you could say it was a well put together story.
I think this is going to be Star Wars I watch with the kids. I think this will be.
This is
this will be the family sit down show.
My youngest son has really taken to Baby Yoda, Grogu.
Oh.
And we have that, like the animatronic one that I got from Ollie's. That's like pretty good. And I was just like, it's so sad that there's not a Baby Yoda cartoon that I can put on for him to watch. Like, there's no media that he can watch with Baby Yoda in it.
There isn't.
No. So that's a swing and a miss. They need to have the Star Wars, what's it called? Like the Force Babies or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Jedi.
What are those called?
Jedi Institute, whatever.
Oh, yes. The younglings.
Yeah. Just
Jedi Academy or whatever it's
Jedi
called.
Academy. Yeah. So.
Coming back for season 2.
So there you go. The toys aren't, though. Those got clearance. No. Nobody wants those.
They're at Ollie's right now.
Yeah. Didn't work out. Which is crazy. So it's like kids don't want Star Wars toys. I guess that's the lesson that we learned from that.
I suppose. Are they just happy with the adult toys? I don't know. I think Star Wars.
I think they just don't
Star
care.
Wars as a brand in the 2020s is very divisive and tough to nail down.
They need to do like gross Star Wars. They haven't done like Star Wars with goo or slime or poop.
Ooh.
That could be next.
That could be next.
Call it bantha fodder. That's their like,
bantha fodder.
Poodoo.
Poodoo.
Yeah. Hey. Poodoo. And I guarantee you next week, Hasbro announces this. We're always like 1 week ahead. We have no inside information, but I guarantee you, by Toy Fair, they're announcing
it'll
this.
get canceled pretty quick because they're going to have like Figrin Dan and you squeeze his head and like juice comes out of the top of it, something like that. And they'll be like, who didn't see that coming? Oh.
Come on. They're smarter than that.
You think
what
so?
Happened? We're smarter than that. There's a lot more to talk about from D23, but I need to take a breather for a second to fix my shelf here, and we will be right back. So we're in the middle of this popcorn bucket revolution, and it's still going strong, but I think you can trace the origins back to at least last year, because last year we had the Barbie popcorn bucket, the Corvette. Right. And that was a big deal. And you got deal. That. You captured
I tracked that down. Yeah, I was a little bit more polite with the with the but not so much with the newest thing. So recently, and it's only in a select amount of stores. I don't know if you have any down there in Florida, but who is this? Turkey Hill has collaborated with Barbie. Yes. And has released 2 limited flavors of Barbie ice cream.
Wow.
So I was very excited because obviously I've got a kid that likes Barbie.
Sure.
So I go down to my local store and I go over to the glass to see in the frozen aisle. I walk up and it's empty and there's a shelf tag for it. Damn. And I go up to the kid and I say, well, whoever's stocking the ice cream. And I go up to him.
The refrigerator professional.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I go up to him and I say, are you out of the Barbie ice cream? And he goes, we might have sold out. I'm not too sure. And I said to him, well, you're going to go check for me.
Yeah,
right?
Get your ass
You're going to go back to the freezer and
do you know
look.
Who I am?
Yeah, I told him. I said, I'm the Gunna guy. You're gonna get it.
Heard of me. You might have heard of.
You might have heard of me. So he goes back. He's mumbling something under his breath. Comes back. He comes back with 2 of them. He says, "These are the last 2 I got." And I said, "I'm gonna take them."
Yeah.
So we have strawberry marshmallow and we have frosted cupcake. And I figured, what better way to try these out than to try them out in the Barbie popcorn Corvette?
Oh, sure.
So here we go.
Cool.
Perfect.
Oh, you just put the whole thing in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to sully the popcorn Corvette.
I pictured it like a banana split situation.
You thought so? You thought I'd be that prepared? No, I took the insert out and everything.
Scoop of this. The Corvette serves no purpose.
So that's garbage.
Which one was that?
This is the frosted cupcake.
What makes it cupcake? Are there like sprinkles?
There's like swirls. It just tastes like frosting. It just tastes like frosting.
Ooh,
with like swirls of pink.
Is it real milk? Is it real dairy? Sometimes it's not.
Turkey Hill makes it with real milk.
Okay.
Yeah, milk is the first ingredient.
I have not found a good ice cream lately. Everything's been
I can't say that this is great. This is definitely kids' ice cream.
Kids' ice cream? Like the kids don't care? They don't care about the flavor.
No.
They just
don't care.
They just want ice cream. They don't care if it's good.
Now we're going to try the strawberry marshmallow.
This is going to be a winner. I can tell.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the marshmallow. Look at that.
It's good.
Oh,
it's pretty good.
We have a winner. There we go. Clear winner. Yeah. So is it just these 2 flavors?
It's just these 2 flavors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if Barbie ice cream makes sense from a branding standpoint. Like, I don't feel like she's eating a lot of ice cream.
I'd like to see the Barbie. I'd like to see the Barbie that comes with the ice cream.
Yeah. Maybe for friends. Maybe at a party. Should put it out. Lots of things falling today, everywhere.
That was my.
Do you need to go put that back in the fridge, or you're just gonna let it?
Nah, we can let it melt a little bit.
Just let it melt, yeah.
The kids won't care. They'll eat partially defrosted. We make 2 recordings on this. That's it. If we're making 3, it's my fault.
Don't you have that like fancy juicer you can like pour things in and refreeze it?
Oh, like the Ninja Creamy?
Yeah.
I refuse to touch that thing. That thing confuses me.
Wow.
I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I have to learn. I got enough stuff. I'm laying floor down at the house this week, so.
Really?
Yeah, that's my learning for the week.
How close are you to getting that studio ready to go?
That's the next project.
That's next. Okay.
That'll be by November, I think.
Oh, so by the end of the year.
By the end of the year,
next year we'll start fresh.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think the background will go away. I think it'll look a little better.
I'll have the break. I'm going to update mine too.
Yep. Your stuff. Have more stuff fall down.
Do you think I should get rid of the Rangers since they're in like deep freeze right now? Should I replace them? Or
we'll see how good the digital game goes. Then maybe they'll be back up again.
Oh my god, the digital game. Well, we'll wait until maybe Playmates, because they have the license now for toys. Maybe they will put out some more helmets, and then I can complete the collection, because I really need the green, yellow, and black. Damn you, Hasbro!
Damn you!
We'll talk more about D3 in a minute, but
23.
There's some other things that happened this week I think deserve our attention, including. We were talking about this, and we brought it. We brought it forth. McDonald's bringing back the glassware
in plastic form, though.
No,
is it plastic? Not glass. It's plastic.
It's plastic.
Yes, the cups are plastic.
I wondered if it was going to be glass. I was like, I think
even my wife knew that they were going to be plastic.
What?
So,
don't even do it then. That's how I feel about it. Don't even. No, that's terrible. Ugh.
So this is the most recent. Is it a collaboration or is it just a throwback at this point?
It's like each cup represents a past either kids meal or promotion or something.
It is exciting. Now, so one of them is Beanie Babies, and my kid is heavy into Beanie Babies. So
really?
Yeah, so she's very excited for that cup. She's very excited for the Hello Kitty cup, because Hello Kitty is also going very strong in the household right now.
Does she know it's not a cat, that it's a little British girl?
Now, I had to break that information to both my mother and my daughter, because my mother was, like, encouraging the Hello Kitty to come in. She went out, bought her all the wardrobe, bought her all sorts of accessories. She accessorized pencil cases and everything with stickers with Hello Kitty things. Yeah. And I'm like, she's just supposed to be a little British girl, right? And they're like, no, she's not. She's a cat. And I'm like, no, she's
actually
a little girl from Britain.
People in our comments, we did a video about this not too long ago, and people were saying that information was incorrect. So there's somebody tried to walk it back.
It came directly from the company that produces, and
it did. So now they're trying to say, like, they were comparing her to Mickey Mouse. I was like, that doesn't make any more sense, because Mickey Mouse is a mouse. He's a mouse.
Yeah, he's a moose.
He's not a little, I don't know, where is Disney from? I want to say the South. I don't know where he's originally from. He's not a little North Carolinian boy inside a mouse costume.
No. So, he's Steamboat Willie. He's probably up the Mississippi. That's where you get steamboats.
I gotta see where he's from now.
So
he's from Chicago. Never mind. He's from
course.
Chicago.
The Windy City.
I do remember that now. Yes, industrial. Yes.
So we have a Grimace one with like Fry Guys, right, for the cups. We have the Hot Wheels Barbies.
I can't get over their plastic. I can't get past.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just
why.
That is
why? But they're clear.
Probably because all the glassware. Do you remember? So the vintage Burger King, Star Wars cups are like full of lead paint.
Well, sure, everything was.
But I think that's the trait. I don't think you can God, do you remember those
the paint
Smuckers?
would adhere to glass.
Yeah. Did you ever go into some kid's house back in like the 90s and their glassware was the Smuckers cups? Or the Smuckers jam?
The mug? Yeah,
it wasn't
the
a
jar.
mug. The jar. And it had like animal facts. It was like collecting weighed animals.
I have those. Yeah.
Yeah. That was my wife's. My wife has that funny story where she went to a friend's house and that was literally their glassware.
Yeah, that's what you did.
I guess that's what you did.
So this is.
No, I'm not saying I didn't have them either. It was. It's like you said. It's what you did.
How do you get these? It's like the adult Happy Meal. You have to buy the chicken nugget meal, and it comes with the glass.
Correct. Now I'm assuming like those McNuggets
during breakfast.
Just breakfast? I like breakfast.
That's what this is saying.
Okay.
Wait,
when does
they
when does it
differ
start?
by time of the day.
Oh.
So, it's the food you can get. So you can get them all through the day, but like the meal you get can be different.
Okay.
But they're just freaking plastic.
I mean, I'll get myself a steak, egg, and cheese on a bagel. I do love that sandwich.
I did have in my head that there would be like glass fights, like people were throwing glass at the McDonald's employees, and I was like, this promotion's not going to last very long.
No.
What do you think has happened to us as people that we can't have glass promotional cups anymore? Because it used to be all the time. Those Batman Forever glass mugs.
It was, yep. The Flintstone mugs.
Flintstones.
Everything.
It was all glass.
I mean, everything was glass.
We can't be trusted. We can't be
ketchup
trusted.
bottles were glass. Well, that's the thing with glass. It doesn't break down as easy. Well, I mean, plastic doesn't break down, but they tell you that you shouldn't even recycle glass, that it makes more sense to just throw it away.
Well, sure.
In terms of recycling, because
what do we even have that is glass anymore? Like pickle jars? Like what comes in glass?
Yeah, pickle jars do come in glass, yeah. Some small condiments, your tartar sauces.
Tartar sauces, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I am thoroughly disappointed because I thought this would usher in a whole new era of glasses. I wanted to see those figural Batman.
I mean, we've literally become the expression. Well, back in my day.
Back in my day, sure.
You and I have just become our own grandparents.
Were the best. Our days were the best.
Look at our 7-year-olds and be like, well, back in my day, these were made of glass. You could cut your lip on them, son.
Back in our day, the villain in Toy Story was another toy, not technology. Yeah. Like the villain in Toy Story 5 is going to be iPads. Okay.
Hey.
I mean, I guess
listen,
so.
So you're basing that off of, so they do a lot of like the concept imagery. Are we going to go back to D23 a little bit?
Let's go back.
Okay. So they released some images of Toy Story 5. Yep. One of which was all the main characters, including Woody, looking over a bed and seeing, I'm assuming Bonnie on a tablet underneath the covers.
Under the covers, right.
Yes, and them all looking forlorn. At that point, just leave. I'm going to tell you right now, I never liked that character. I have never been pro Bonnie. Ever.
Pro Bonnie.
She didn't
earn it.
She doesn't appreciate her toys.
No, she doesn't.
No. She doesn't. No. And I think that's the failing. And I don't even... No, I can't even say that because we saw Andy play with the toys and then grow out of them. He at least appreciated them as toys. Right. She would walk in, she'd go, hi toys, buy toys, and then that would be it. And then they had that disgusting Toy Story, the Time Forgot show, where she just goes and sees the friend, and then they play video games until the very end when they feel bad for the toys, and then they play with them at the end for like 30 seconds. I've never liked Bonnie. She doesn't even notice when the toys go missing. That's the problem, too.
She's not attentive at all.
She's not. Attentive. Terrible. No. Terrible character.
But maybe I think in that way she's... Oh, shit. No. Can't say that.
I said it.
Can't
did.
Wish death upon Bonnie. We have to see. Maybe they'll flash forward. Do you think that this will be the last one? Because Tim Allen's gonna die in real life pretty soon. Can they start writing these characters? I thought they wrote off Woody, but it seems like somehow he returned. Somehow Woody returned.
Somehow Woody's returned. Excellent. Yes.
Excellent. But do you think this is it, or do you think this is just like it's just one of the million that they're going to keep doing?
I feel like they're going to keep going.
Yeah,
because I think they really just like the people that are like, well, it ended at 3 for me.
It ended at 3. 3 was the perfect ending. 3 would have been the perfect ending if they died in that trash compactor. That's where I shut it off. Where they're all hugging. I was like,
I know. I mean,
and
literal
died.
tears in the theater as that was happening.
Oh my God. It was
like, I was visually upset when that happened. And then they're like, nope, it's fine.
It was so perfect. They all
here's some carnival pals that you're gonna forget.
Oh
they don't.
God.
They're not great, but whatever.
Just so here's a spork with some.
Oh my God, and he's back in it too. You know,
kids
Buzz is barely in it,
Forky.
but the spork is in it.
Oh my God. Well, that's the other thing. The villain, apparently, is an army of Buzz Lightyear, malfunctioning Buzz Lightyear toys. Now someone
wild.
made an excellent point that how old is Buzz as a toy at this point?
Right.
Like, they're not still selling Buzz Lightyear.
No.
Get out of here.
You know what would be even funnier if it was an army of Buzz Lightyears from the Lightyear movie. That would make more sense.
That would be great because all that stock just had to be sent back to Hasbro.
Yes.
Do you think they're that? Are they that? Like,
no.
Disney's.
No.
Did Deadpool write this movie? That would be so good.
Oh shoot. Yeah. I mean,
obviously,
at
I'm
that
gonna
point,
see it. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it too.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
I'm in for one. I'm in for all.
I mean, the first 3 were great. The second one was not the best. The first one and the third one were great. The third one is like art. It's like so good. Oh, just watch that. Pretend the other ones don't even exist. You don't even need them.
You don't.
But this is what Disney has decided to do because Inside Out 2 did very well.
It did.
All we're getting for the most part now are sequels.
Frozen
Toy Story
3.
5. Incredibles 3, Zootopia 2,
Moana 2. We get a prequel to the live-action Lion King.
Oh my God, that nobody asked for. That seems like it's going to totally undermine the story. Yeah. Where it's like, you know what? Scar probably was in the right. It seemed like he was making a lot of good points here.
This is like, well, so that's like par for the course for these live-action movies where they say, let's humanize, let's sympathize for the villain. Let's show their side. They've done it with they did it with Maleficent. They did it with Cruella de Vil.
Oh yeah.
That's just how they're doing things. They're not always bad. It's just the circumstances made them this way.
It's from their point of view, certain point of view. Well, we'll see how well they do. I don't know. Better than Borderlands.
I'd say it's a mixed bag. And of course, better than Borderlands.
The funny thing about Borderlands is that they started promoting it around the same time that they were promoting what was the show on Prime where they were in the
Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah.
So like I didn't know anything about. I just knew these were 2 video games. So in my head, they were like sort of on the same level. So
Fallout.
Fallout was fantastic.
Yes.
Very good. So I was like, oh, okay, great. So Borderlands is going to be probably just as good. Not the case, apparently.
No.
Very bad. Very bad, from what I've heard. Not a lot of people went to see it, so I can't confirm that with anybody. But it's just sort of funny where it's like, at one point, these movies, this show, and these properties were level in my mind. But
do you feel like a lot of people are going to go see this new Alien movie?
Oh, I don't know. I want to see it.
Have you seen the marketing for this movie?
Where they have people with face huggers,
they have people with face huggers, dead everywhere. Yeah. They have face huggers, remote control face huggers going through the theaters. They have random people on the street in agonizing pain, and then they have a chest burster pop out of their chest. They have popcorn buckets galore. I'm going down to Regal this week and strong-arming a couple popcorn buckets out of some concession attendants' hands. Yes. That's where I'm at. So, stay tuned.
Get your shirt printed out. You're gonna give it to me.
I'm gonna be like the Costco guys.
The Costco guys, yeah.
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie. Ooh. That guy.
I will say I always skip those, but they do always come up, and I know that they've made lots of money off of those. It makes me very angry.
I watched a third person video of them recording. Like they're like, I just wanted Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
And the dad and the kid were there recording a bit for their channel, and it was like,
it's cringy.
It's so awkward to see it. Like I told you, I've only seen it once at Disney, where the woman was like reviewing her food.
Right.
I think it was in the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I'm like, should I be watching this?
Did they have lighting? Was there someone holding lights?
Should I be quiet? Yeah,
I know. It's like, should I barge in and then I'm part of it? I'm part of the channel now. Keep this in.
Your dessert is ready, sir. This is a buffet. I get my own dessert. Shut up! I just want to be here.
I'm a reoccurring character. Gotta use it. Like you gotta tag me now.
Walk in and just like wave and just be really awkward about it.
Try to be in all. I mean, they're obviously going back to the same Costco. Try to be in all their videos. People will start figuring it out. Like, hey, there's that guy. He's my favorite.
Hey, there's that guy that likes
all
the hard plastic chicken. Costco.
Well, that's our world now. That's how people live.
That is. That's how we live.
I sent you a picture of the alien popcorn bucket that's like a tube that's glowing green, and then there's a face hugger on one side. That one looks really cool. I like that one.
That's at Regal. I'm getting down there. I'm getting down there either tomorrow or the next day.
I would have to go on a Tuesday, and they're always sold out by then. But I guess I could just go try to get the popcorn bucket.
You can try for it.
Just get it on the website.
For me, it's a 45-minute drive. I'm gonna do it.
Just get it from the website. Ahead. It probably costs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
With gas,
less strong arming. I can't yell at the website though. That's the problem.
You can yell. The website's not working. It's already crashed. Oh, Regal movies. Regal.com doesn't work apparently. Ooh, can I still get the baby Deadpool?
I think it was up for pre-order.
Pre-order. I did that once with the Ecto.
With like a November drop. Yeah, you did it with the Ecto.
Oh. I might not even want a popcorn bucket by then. What am I supposed to eat popcorn with until then?
God, I buy a lot of popcorn buckets for a guy that's sworn off popcorn buckets. I tell you that.
How do you display them? How do you display them?
I live in trash. I'm telling you. Like, I can't get down. I talk about my studio space. I gotta move like this basement over to the other basement.
They live in trash.
Yeah.
My favorite Muppet.
Like people ask for room tours. I'm like, this is the most organized portion of this behind me.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna see. Anything else, you'll be disillusioned.
No,
you don't want to see what's
coming.
Below me.
Yeah.
I think we all live like that. I think all collectors.
I think somebody had posted something like that. It's like there's a facade, and then there's boxes.
You have to. It's like something comes, you don't immediately have a place for it. You have to wait until enough stuff builds up that you can like figure out where it's all gonna go. I don't like clear a space every time. Like I don't know when something's gonna come. Like I went to Ollie's the other day. They had these new WWE Ultimate figures. It's like I wasn't expecting to get these, but I had to get them.
I wasn't expecting to get you that MODOK, but I grabbed that MODOK.
I'm excited for that. MODOK.
I gotta send that down.
He's like Elvis.
Send that down. Yes.
Yeah. You have like a pile of loot, like big bag toy store style, waiting for me because you got that AEW Ultimate too.
Yep, that's there.
I might just wait until my mom's coming down in like January. Just like give it to her to put in the luggage.
Oh, maybe.
That because it's like it's gonna cost too much to ship it all.
It probably costs.
I want it in the box. I want the box.
She come down with an empty suitcase? No, she comes down with a couple. She comes down with a full suitcase.
Right. She brings me stuff.
Yeah.
And then she comes back, but she can fit it in there. It'll be okay.
Okay. Well, we'll talk like that. We'll talk that. That might be enough. That might be enough, and I can really grow the pile of loot and get all the backlogged stuff that I've been promising
the backlog?
You. The tiny dust, the
Lego turtles,
the Lego turtles.
It's been a year at this point.
I don't know. Like it's been a rough year. I gotta say,
it's been a rough year.
It's just been tough.
It's been tough for everybody.
It's been a busy year. It's busy.
But listen, things are looking up.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Back.
So we're just coming out of like a 3-month stretch where we've had to lay down with the youngest kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, on the floor outside his room because he's needed company. Like, he's now just going to sleep. On his own, like that's a tuck-in. Like, hey, good night, buddy. Have a good night. And then he's asleep. So, I don't know how you arrange things, like, for work or, like, doing extra stuff at night. But, like, I completely shut down after 9 o'clock. But if I'm doing things by 8 p.m., that's, like, I can keep going. So I'm missing the 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and further, where I can get, like, 4 hours of productive time in. That's my cutoff, because the kids are awake still at 7, but 8 p.m., I can remove myself and do a little project.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sleep is the hardest with kids.
It's a little slice of my personal life.
Lucky. We got so lucky with the second one. He's just such a good sleeper.
That's good.
The first one was not, so, we put in our time. But the sleep, if you don't get sleep, you can't be a human. It's hard to human without enough sleep. So I understand.
Are you excited for any of the ride or land announcements for D23, or is it one of those situations where you're like, I'll believe it when I see it? Because a lot of those, they just disappear and they never come back.
This year was crazy because the consensus seems to be that Disney was a little feels a little scared because Universal erected this entire new park very quickly.
Universe, yes, yeah,
and they have like really cool shit that people are legitimately excited for. So Disney was like, "Hey, let's go back into the suggestion box and see like what we were working on 10 years ago. Oh, here's a Monsters Inc. roller coaster. Let's just do that one. Let's just say we're doing it."
Yeah, here's Indiana Jones. But like,
here's Indiana Jones.
Are they like expanding? I think they're just building into where they currently occupy things.
Well,
so people are starting to speculate where this
is the thing. So the funniest / saddest part of this was when they were talking about building this Monsters Inc. land in Hollywood Studios. The fans of the existing rides were like, oh no, are they going to tear down Muppet 4D to build this? And people are like, I'm going to chain myself to the building. Like, people are starting to, like, what are they going to take down? Aerosmith just announced they're retiring. Are they going to take down that roller coaster? Like, it has to go somewhere. Something's got to go.
I feel like someone had mentioned that the launch pad and the Disney animation, the kids animation, might be the place for it because it will make the most sense with Toy Story Land.
Sure.
Indiana Jones, they announced, I think, is going to go in where Dinosaur is.
Dinoland, yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
That's gonna. They were saying that's gonna close in stages. So like maybe they'll try to keep the actual ride open while they.
I feel like that's been closing in stages for years.
Yeah. Well, they had the one ride where like a maintenance worker died, and that just never reopened.
That swirling dinosaur roller coaster. Yeah, that terrified me.
Yeah. I mean, they're all kids' rides. It's like, of all the rides to die, be killed on. Yeah, I'm not excited for any of it. Like you said, who knows when it will even happen, but at the same time, nothing seemed as exciting as what Universal was announcing, because they just don't have a property like Harry Potter where you can do like really cool rides. They can't do the Marvel stuff here. They're doing Marvel stuff in California, but like even what they announced didn't seem like anything groundbreaking. They talked about that stupid like King Thanos versus the multiverse thing, which they talked about last year at D23, and there's been progress on that.
Oh, I just don't like seeing Disney. I don't like going down to Disney when it's under construction. I feel like
it's always under construction. There's never a time it's not.
There's some critical points where it sees like I went to Epcot the last time we went to Epcot. Last
Epcot
year,
was bad,
and it was terrible, and it was just the green walls up everywhere and like funneling you into like a little small corridor just to get to Starbucks. It was wacky.
Yeah. It doesn't seem, it should be like discounted. It doesn't even seem that you're not getting the full experience.
No.
It's sad.
They got a Cars Land coming to Frontierland.
So it's not even Cars Land. It's two different Cars Rides or something, but they're like stopping short of calling it Cars Land, which is weird.
Yeah.
The rumor for that is they're going to tear down Tom Sawyer Island and like the whole boat part of it.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sad about that. That was like really fun to ride the boat and go see like off in the woods. They had like the kind of animatronics, like they would move like very slightly.
There was a bear. There was a bear in there last time.
A real bear?
A real bear found its way onto Tom Sawyer Island like 2 months ago.
Little added. Because that was the part as a kid going where I was like, is this part real? Like that seemed the most real to me.
Yeah.
But that's
I don't know. It's just like you get your people who are like, it doesn't feel great. But then you have to wonder, like, Disney has to like adapt to its fandom, and like they can't cater to the fandom that's dying out.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't think anybody really trusts Disney at this point to like make good decisions. Like after this whole debacle with like paying for fast passes and everything.
Oh, sure.
I think everyone sort of questions where Disney's priorities are. And it'll be interesting to see your wallet, exactly. If Universal, like they've been making strides ever since they got Harry Potter, it was like, okay, now they're for real. Like now we're starting to see, but still you can't, Disney just has the name value. Like you're going on vacation, you want to go to Disney, but maybe that's going to change. I don't know. It's good to have competition. SeaWorld's got to step it up now. Sick of these roller coasters. Get some animatronic animals in there. What are you doing?
Right. It's going to be holographic Shamus everywhere.
Well, did you see the interactive Mickey? Like
I saw interactive Mickey and I saw Rocket. Yes.
Yeah. The Rocket I thought was fine. The Mickey was terrible. Why did they even show that? It looked awful. His like head barely moved. He didn't blink.
I saw them do, and this wasn't related to Disney, I saw them talk to like a holographic Howie Mandel in like similar into like that holographic box that they had you in, but it was smaller, so it was like a tiny Howie. Yeah,
Howie loves holograms. He's I'm
sure he does. He's probably in his clean room being like, I'm so clean, right. No one's gonna touch me.
He doesn't have
I love being hologram Howie.
Oh, he loves it. Just put him in a bathroom where he can wash his hands all day.
There we go. Him and Mark Summers.
So there was a ton. I did not like Incredibles 2, so I'm not excited for Incredibles 3.
Yeah.
You know what was weird? The live Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw him come out of the screen. Yeah. Again, it's like, it's that uncanny valley. Where it's just like, you know that this doesn't, as furry and realistic as you can make it, it still looks like James P. Sullivan to me. Like the hair just doesn't texture right.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense in the Monsters Inc. world, but you're like, and that's the problem too. It's like CGI and animation like that works best when it's dark. But when it's bright, it looks like a cartoon.
Yeah. I thought it would look better because usually when you talk about Uncanny Valley, usually you're talking about, okay, this thing exists in reality, so I have a reference for what it looks like, and this looks enough like it, but not perfect, that it looks weird. Stitch does not exist, but I guess he's like, there are creatures that look enough like Stitch that you can be like, that's like kind of like a rabbit, and then he's got like
koala bear. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. The qualities, but I think they could have made him cuter. I thought like he was not like, it looks like Stitch, but I thought they could have made him cuter. Like when they did the Pokemon and they made Pokemon real.
Yeah.
Like they cuted him up a little bit, I thought. But not the case here. Not the case. And then let's see, what else was there? We saw a trailer for Fantastic Four, and this is the footage that we had seen stills of. So I guess they shot this just to be this trailer.
Okay.
And then we saw Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four costume with the white piping at the top, like lots of white in the costume. Yeah, it looks weird. Pajamas. I don't know. Maybe that's not like the final costume. And it's set in like this alternate 50s. So you got to kind of be
You have to.
Is it the 60s?
It's the 60s. Yeah. You have to
go with the
suspend
aesthetic a little bit.
But it just seems like, I mean, I guess I'm not a Fantastic Four guy. Never have been. I don't think. I think it ended with X-Men for me. So you give me X-Men, I'm happy. Sure. But Fantastic Four, again, I feel like this was even overshadowed by a lot of things that they've had shown since. And hopefully it does well, but I don't think it's going to have any longevity.
I don't know.
But it
should. It should. It's like, I don't know. They've tried so many times. Like, you would hope one of them's going to stick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then you mentioned X-Men. We got a little bit of a look at X-Men 97 Series 2, which is not called X-Men 98. I don't know. I guess it's just always going to be X-Men 97, even if they do it for another decade.
Okay.
Apparently, we're going to get the Frank Quitely costumes from the Grant Morrison run, which is like inspired by the movie X-Men, where it's like black leather with the yellow across the jackets.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to be the whole season. Hopefully not, or it's going to be like how we got one retro episode. Are we going to get storylines from that,
or are they going to just pull?
I don't know. That's all. Yeah. That's all. But Beast looked very different.
We thought he did. He was more cat-like.
He's cat-like. He stood up more straight.
Yes. And that was always interesting with that X-Men 97, how we thought that most of the animation, but like literally nothing was done with that second season, and we were just assuming that season 2 was already like in the can and ready to roll. And we were way off.
Because season 1 got delayed like a year, if not more. So it's like, well, of course the next season is ready. But no, animation takes a long time. And then they said that Warlock will be a villain, and we'll also see Polaris and Havoc. So some new friends popping up. But I'll get excited for that when it happens, or when Hasbro has some toys to show for it. Hopefully they learn their lesson from this first one, and they make a lot more of them.
Well, they should still be making them. I feel like it's easier now to make more of them than anything else. They're not making anything else.
Yeah.
Get on it
right now.
Mistakes.
I feel like Hasbro did not announce a lot of sets. Like, they announced like 2-packs and these like the 3 figures for the Deadpool line. So it's like maybe they have some stuff up their sleeve that they just haven't released yet. Because I would like some more X-Men 97 figures, please. Like a Beast at least. At least a Beast. Do you want to update us on your teddy bear?
Oh, shoot. I should have gotten the letter.
Well, we can save it for next week.
I mean, that's fine.
All right. We'll nice tease here for that week.
Yeah. So we can bookend that, which was nice. I should have gotten the letter. Darn.
It's okay. I never posted the video.
I got the ice cream. Yeah. Well.
Got the ice cream. Yeah. It seemed like a lot of people had trouble ordering this Cobra Commander, the San Diego Comic-Con one, because Hasbro put up their Comic-Con stuff. So, again, shout out to little Steve Austin, who made your life much easier. You didn't have to worry about ordering that.
Didn't have to worry about a thing. It hooked me up real good.
Hooked you up good. Yeah. Yes. And then Hasbro announced Into the Spider-Verse Series 2 of these figures. This is very not exciting to me. It's just like so far after the fact, and like a whole movie of crazy Spider-Man variants and so many repeated characters is just wild. Like, they went real safe.
I think some of them are showing up at Ollie's now too, which is
from the first set. Yeah, I think the Spots is there. Is that what he's called? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember I ordered a case because I was so excited for that first set, and I just never opened it. Like, I got a closed case. Someday, like case 20 years closed. In the future, that'll be really exciting. Case closed. But coming to the clearance section near you.
I heard Ollie's real quick. I heard Ollie's is really they're starting to ramp up their holiday selection. So,
well, I mean, if this past couple of weeks is any indication, it's going to be a good one. Because last year, I thought it would be great, and it was disappointing. Everything ended up at Ross.
Ross had the title belt. for discounted toys last year.
The reigning and defending champ. They still have been pumping out stuff. It didn't just stop with Christmas. It's been
I want to find. I don't know what that thing is, but I've always been intrigued by that Dungeons and Dragons floating head.
The one-eyed one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
people have been
popping
finding
up.
All those
they have $10.
The owl thing. $10.
$10 for that floating one eyeball head thing. Yeah.
I like that you can puppeteer the eye. You can move it around.
That's exciting. Yes.
Yeah. So, I might get those. I didn't see those when I went. They didn't have any.
Keep one eye out for that thing.
Keep one eye out for that.
I found that Lightyear, as much as everyone hates it, I found the XL7 ship for like $13 at Ollie's, which was exciting. Mm-hmm. And then
I still have you got me to buy all that Buzz Lightyear stuff last season, and I didn't open a single thing. It's like in my garage. Okay. So you tricked me into doing it. You peer pressured me into it.
That's all right. That's what we do with each other. We just peer pressure each other back and forth.
We peer pressure our audience because we're influenced. We influenced you. All right, very good. Anything else for this big week?
No, I can't think of anything.
No. Okay.
Touch base with all of it.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.